Stakeholders in the nation's anti-corruption and climate space have called for urgent reforms in the oil and gas sector of the economy to address the issues of corruption and environmental degradation that has bedeviled the country for many decades. They make this known at a two-day first International Anti-Corruption and Climate Change Conference held in Abuja, the nation's capital. Participants at the event say corruption has negatively impacted the country's management of the environmental issues, calling for comprehensive approach in addressing the transparency and accountability deficit in different sectors of the nation's economy as a way of addressing developmental issues and improving the lives of Nigerians.
Let us agree today that all the agencies of the government, SSS, Police, NOAA, Immigration, Code of Conduct Bureau, and NOAA will henceforth at local government level collaborate with the EFCC and ICPC and CCP in curbing corruption in our country. We can no longer leave those two institutions to fight this battle. Either another progressive organ, please let us send a memo to the government to direct these agencies to fight corruption in our country, promote climate change, so that when we live here, we won't be expecting, because a new assignment has just been given to DFCC and ICPC. So they are now going to monitor the disbursement of funds from Abuja to 774 local governments. They cannot do it alone. So we must now get the government to direct this, particularly State Security Service.
Now we are aware of these fears, and it is also extremely important for us to also interrogate some of the adverse effects of the environmental pollution we experience, particularly around our oil and gas sector and the extractive industry. We should not limit, when we are talking about environmental degradation, what is going on now with illegal mining in another 5 years is going to be much, much worse than the degradation that oil and gas exploration has caused. So when we are seated there, please let us begin to have that at the back of our mind. I've just set up a special task force now on illegal mining across all my zonal offices. It's a major problem that we are grappling with. You need to see, if I'd come with the pictures of some of the environmental damages that illegal mining are causing. And this time around, not even by the people, of course, by some foreigners, Chinese and all of them, some of them, but particularly by our own indigenous people, local people, in their own environment. In some cases, supported by some traditional rulers.
The federal government of Nigeria, through its relevant body, will ensure the submission of the first biennial transparency report of the country to the UNFCCC on or before December 31st, 2024. Nigeria, through the Federal Ministry of Environment, has been at the forefront for advocating for Glasgow Declaration Accountability Framework to drive the equitable implementation of the Glasgow Leaders Declaration on Forests and land use targets of halting and reversing deforestation and land degradation by 2030.
We've had experience of several decades, over 50 years, and still counting, of the abuse and also the misuse of our natural resources, both by international operators and their collaborators who are local, either in the communities or traditional rulers or even government officials. And that is why we're having this forum as we're migrating now. Even if we want to try and put a stop to what has been happening with the oil and gas. And now that we're going to the new energy of the exploitation of lithium and the rest of that, because the world wants to move away from oil and gas. So we would even have a situation where some of the oil and gas assets will be stranded because the world would have moved to what we have as the electric cars, solar energy, and the rest of that, empowering the system. So we can't afford to transfer those very horrible experiences we've had with the oil and gas to the same thing as the new sources of energy. And Nigeria is one of the countries with substantial deposit of some of the new resources and materials.